Hello, everyone, and welcome to this webinar. Today, I'll be presenting SCSA Safety Culture Survey, which is our newest collaboration with SCSA. I always like to start my presentations with a moment to remember all great people came before us and built this amazing country for us. Their hard work and dedication and belief in a better world led to a high quality life that we enjoy today. So this photo you see in the background is an exterior shot of the half completed Bessborough Hotel in downtown Saskatoon, taken in 1931. And the shot shows the real of the hotel with plumbing and heating workmen posed for the photo. So with that, this would be the agenda that we will cover today. First, let me introduce myself properly. My name is Mohammad Khalkhali, mainly known as MK by my friends and colleagues. I'm the data scientist and data science and analytics team lead here at the EHS Analytics. We are a group of nerds with a whole lot of health, safety, and environmental experience who are aiming to eliminate workplace injuries and fatalities through utilizing safety data. We have been in collaboration with the CSA since 2019, and we are the ones that administered and analyzed the CSA Safety Culture Survey. Um, okay, now that the introduction is done, the next items are going to be as you can see in the screen. We first define what leading indicators are and why they are important. Next, we look into safety culture surveys and why they are considered to be leading indicators. We will also explain the survey we chose and reasons behind this decision. Next, we will review some of the insight we got from two surveys that we already administered, and finally, we will discuss next step and how we can improve our surveys to come. The quest for leading indicator, the holy grail of safety. The world is in a constant search for leading indicators. It's not just safety, yeah, because they're amazing, they're awesome. They're actually offering the thing that we as human beings have been searching for uh, since we've been on this earth, and that is predicting future. In safety, leading indicators are valuable as they can help us predict risk and avoid danger in the workplace or environment. Um, at EHS Analytics, though, we do not subscribe to the often misused perception that safety meetings, inspections, observations, these activities are leading indicators. These are positive safety activities that may prevent an incident, but they do not necessarily indicate a change in the risk. Uh, Instead, we take a more technical definition for leading indicators. In we believe that leading indicator in safety is a piece of data which changes anything like behavioral measurements, weather pattern, and attitude of the worker. Uh, uh, and these changing measures correspond with and can help to predict and forecast future changes in the risk and therefore unsafe events. So why safety cultures can be leading indicators? There are a few reasons why the safety culture surveys may uh, well be a good leading indicators. First is a direct relationship the questions have to safety. The survey measures a, a perceived behavior, attitude, or performance of a company which is related to safety directly. Second, a good safety culture survey is highly repeatable and can establish trends within an organization over time. Well, the first two reasons are easy to understand as they are basically come from the definition of leading indicators. The third reason may not come as clear initially, but it is probably the most important reason. Safety culture can be collected in large scales at the industry level. In fact, they can be widely used and assessed against not only those within the industry, but across industries. It is the broadness of these surveys applications that is its strength. When choosing safety surveys as leading indicators, we looked at all the prevalent ones in the industry. Uh, these are some of the most implemented safety surveys that we considered. First organizational performance metric, or OPM survey, that is developed by the Institute for Work and Health in Ontario, and other versions of it, like the 12 question survey that WorkSafe Manitoba built based on OPM survey. Next one is the Safety Climate Assessment Tool, or SCAT, which was developed through a collaboration between the Center for Construction Research and Training based in Silver Springs, Maryland, and Washington State University. And we also examined the Leadership Engagement Tool developed by Construction Safety Research Alliance, which is based in University of Colorado, Boulder. We finally chose a safety survey format established by the Institute for Work and Health, or IWH, in Ontario, called Organizational Performance Metric, or OPM survey. We determined which survey, a safety survey, we were going to use using criteria such as convenience, simplicity, and proven reliability. A photographer would say that the best camera is the one that gets the shot. Similarly, a survey could be a mile long and uncover tons of interesting information, yet if almost no one is willing to take it, it will fail. The OPM survey couldn't be simpler. The survey contains just 8 main questions. These questions make the OPM survey a small ask that can be completed in approximately 2 minutes. OPM survey has also been field tested extensively and has established its reliability. A bit of background of the OPM survey. The IWH OPM was developed by Institute for Work and Health in 2008 in collaboration with health and safety professionals in Ontario, while working together to determine leading indicators of health and safety. The OPM survey has been well studied, and results showed that IWH OPM scores were correlated with both past and future OHS performance. For example, workplaces that scored high on IWH OPM had lower injury claims rate in the 3 years both before and after completing the questionnaire, whereas those that scored low on IWH OPM had higher injury claims rates. Industry standards were already set for OPM safe survey, as records of questions collected from Ontario firms from 2011 to 2013 provided needed benchmarking. The simplicity and reproducibility of the OPM survey will allow us to build reliable benchmarks for the Saskatchewan construction industry as well. Our version of OPM survey has 8 questions in total, with short additional questions at the end. Participants were asked to go in and rank each safety practice, with 0% being the lowest score or least practiced, and 100% being the highest score or practiced every day. The additional questions provides more insight about the organization and the person participating in the survey, which then enables us to make proper groupings of individuals and organizations for our statistical analysis. The individuals' answers remain anonymous, and the safety culture survey is conducted multiple times to track and measure an organization's safety culture. If we look at the questions in the survey, like they're mainly around that, how do you think your management cares about safety? So management may care about safety, but in the eyes of the employee, maybe they don't see it like that. So then this can help the management to know how their employees actually see the safety culture within their firm. And if they believe that they're already doing a good job, it means that they actually do not communicate well with their employees. That's why they don't see the value of the safety in the company. But from the workers' perspective, I would say this is your chance to make your voice heard. And another thing is that, like at Saskatchewan, we should be really, really like proud of what we've done. Like for our knowledge, this is the first time that association or organization is administered this kind of a safety culture survey in this scale. So when everyone in the construction sector participates in this survey, it means that we can build the data set for the whole Saskatchewan. So you as a worker, by participating in the survey, may help another worker in some other time, help them not to get hurt and not get injured in the workplace, because this is going to help us to build all those leading indicators and see how how we can improve safety within the province. Note that this safety culture service is becoming a part of a bigger SCSA members dataset. It fits well with and complements the other SCSA member data. At the single company level, OPM survey can be used to assess the safety culture of the organization. Depending on how often the survey is administered, we can do either single point assessment to analyze the survey culture evolution, or we can do time correlation analysis to look at the evolution of the survey score over time. Repeated implementation of the OPM survey can measure the input that companies are making to improve safety, and its outcomes, whether they are effective or not, can be then revealed. Developers of OPM survey provided a guideline that can be used to assess safety culture of a company using their OPM score. Safety culture surveys are most effective when they are administered at the industry level. We can go beyond single OPM score and utilize the collective response of a sector to build benchmarking. This enables organizations to compare themselves with their peers and assess their weak and strong points. Building an industry level dataset also enables us to reveal hidden trends and go beyond just calculating or measuring the safety culture and go toward building leading indicators. Let me give an analogy to clear the value of industry level data sets. Let's take a look at this corner of a forest. Here everything looks fine, and we probably cannot see any issues. Just assume or imagine that that can be organization A's data. We may see some problems in another part of the forest, but it seems that it is under control. This can be another organization's data, organization B's data. The reality, however, may be that there is a huge problem that is only visible when looking at the whole forest from above. Basically, the truth is in the panoramic that can only be achieved by uniting sectors' data. This image is actual, like a real image of a major fire in southern British Columbia on August 21st, 2003. So to sum up, I'd say one organization data is simply not enough to make the big picture. By collaborating in a sector-wide dataset, organizations can identify trends and leading indicators, make industry-wide decisions, and share their successes and mistakes. Okay, with this background, let us get into the results of the two safety culture surveys that we administered so far, and see what we can learn from these surveys. First, some statistics. We had a very good turnout in terms of the number of firms participating in the survey. To our best knowledge, SCSA is the only association that administers safety cultures in this scale. For surveys we administered so far, on average, we receive 1 to 2 responses for each from each member. As I mentioned before, you can interpret your OPM survey in 2 different ways. You can perform a single point assessment by comparing your results to the guideline provided by IWH. Since we administered this survey in the industry level, you also have the opportunity to compare yourself with the industry benchmarks and your peers in your own group. This is the guideline provided by IWH. There are other guidelines out there available, different version of these guidelines also that can be used to make sense of OPM survey. For a single point assessment, you can basically find your spot on this line and use guidelines provided to assess your safety culture. So you get your score, put it on that scale, and say, okay, I sit here, so I'm probably in the continuous learning, or I sit like a low, so I'm in the compliance part. I'm not good. I need to work on some stuff. There are more details once you have access to your SCSA Analytics, which I will mention later in this presentation. When you have access to that, there are more guidelines that how you can actually do single point assessment yourself and how you can make sense of your numerical, like a score, the OPM score. But as mentioned before, again, SCSA members have the opportunity to compare themselves with their peers using industry-wide benchmarks. These benchmarks, along with more detailed analysis of your safety culture survey, are available in your SCSA Analytics dashboard. So we put like a plot your plot like a score in the dashboard is pretty nice. It's like a gauge plot. So you got a benchmark and you got your score, and you can see that if you're sitting lower and higher than your peers, so that's your another indication. If you sit lower than the industry average, means that you're falling behind. It doesn't matter if you're in the like a 3 to 4 region, you got a good score. It means that your industry is actually is pretty high, so you're falling behind. You need to push more. There's something that you're not doing that others are doing, so you need to go figure that out. So that is the biggest. I think the biggest game changer is that benchmarking. And again, we are the only ones that actually do this twice a year and update our benchmarking. Like IWH benchmark was for 10 years ago, but each 6 months we publish a new benchmark because we do another survey each 6 months. One firm can see the time correlation of its score and see how it changes, if it goes up or down. And also you can see at the industry and see if industry goes up or down. And all these can help us like have a much clearer, better like idea about the safety industry. We can also compare the Saskatchewan construction with the benchmark developed by IWH for the construction sector. They collected the data from 100 firms back in 2011 to 2013 and built their own benchmark for each question and for like a total score of the survey. As you can see, SCSA members consistently score higher marks compared to the IWH benchmark in all 8 questions. There are many factors that can cause this better observed performance, basically. Probably one reason can be that actually safety awareness is higher now, that like the safety culture is better. People have more like knowledge about safety. Now that is why we got a better score, or maybe we like SCSA members are actually safer workplaces. But there are a couple of theories that uh, we can test once we have better data and more data and see what caused our higher scores. Um, this visual depicts the performance of different size groups. So we categorize firms into 4 different size groups. We can see that the average number of participants in the company increases as the size increases. This is normal and expected, as we expect more responses from companies that have more employees. The number for extra large size group has lower statistical confidence, so I wouldn't put too much like emphasize on extra large groups simply because we didn't have enough data points. You can see that we only had 23 firms participated in that size group. But for the other size groups, we can say with confidence that we can and should improve response within each firm, especially for medium and large firms in the medium and large size groups. For a small firms, that average response of 1.42 is probably a good average response. Many of these firms in the small size group are the family owned businesses. They're mom and pop shops. They're probably 1, 2, or 5 people in the firm. So That is actually a good response rate coming out of this size group. But for the other two, we really need to increase the number of responses. We can also compare different rate codes within the SCSA members dataset. As mentioned before, our rate codes score higher average scores compared to the IWH benchmark. Residential construction firms submitted lower average OPM scores compared to other two, construction trades and commercial and industrial construction. One interesting outcome of our analysis was that on average, core certified members submitted statistically significant higher scores in the survey. They also submitted more surveys per firm on average. Because those data sets are pretty much aggregated, they're big data sets, so we have a good confidence to say that correlation is there. So we know for sure that the core certified members scored higher. The perceived safety culture of their employees is actually they have a higher, I think, opinion about the safety culture in their company compared to non-core certified firms. This signifies the value of core program. Being core certified means that the firms need that the firm need regular yearly audits and need to comply with the program requirements. This can keep the safety awareness high within the organization and enhances the safety culture. We also looked into the correlation between the safety culture and safety performance. For this, we first calculated the total days of work that has been lost due to workplace injuries in the last 3 years. Then we compared this value for firms that received a perfect OPM scores and those that didn't. And as you can see in this visual, this analysis showed that employees of members with perfect OPM scores lost significantly lower number of days of work due to injuries in the last 3 years. To be able to uh, rule out OPM survey results as a perfect leading indicators, we need to continue administrating and doing this survey in the following years, and then we can see how it correlates with the future safety performance of the firms. But right now, we can see that it correlates well with the past safety performance of firms, and those that had a perfect score had a much safer workplace for their employees. And the reason that we use the average compensation days was because it's really easy to relate to. Like if you lose a day of work, that's really easy to relate to that value. And also it has a hidden like this average number has a hidden value. When you look at the days that employee lost from work. Also, in addition to showing the injury that happened, like as in addition to be an indicator for the injury rate, it also can be an indicator of the injury severity, because the more you lose, the more days you lose from work because of the injury, it means that the injury was most likely more severe. So this value actually gives us a kind of two-faceted analysis. And as you can see here, it correlates well with the OPM score. With that, let's go and see what we can do as a next step to make our safety culture survey better and increase its quality. First step is to sign up to see your safety culture survey analysis and receive your SCSA Analytics dashboard. The SCSA Analytics dashboard is available at no cost to all SCSA members. You will be able to view your OPM safety culture survey analysis, WCB premium forecasts, injury rates, training and certification data, and more in your customized company dashboard. Due to the sensitive nature of the data on this dashboard, we need you to sign up, and After confirming the identity of the person that signs up, then those who sign up will be contacted by the SCSA or EHS Analytics to get access to their dashboard. Just remember, the function of this survey is to tell you as a management or a safety professional how your employees see the safety culture of your company. So if you want to get most out of this survey, the key is to send it to the everybody that does the job and working your company with the different type work job titles, and especially get it to the hand of the people in the field, in the workplace, those workers that work in the field. Those are the ones that are in a risk of having workplace injuries the most. So it is really important that you understand how they see the safety culture of your company. Now, the management can uh, make changes based on those people's opinions. And once the people like workforce sees that their voice is heard and that actually they make changes based on what the feedbacks that they gave to the management, I think it makes them feel better about working in the company, and they feel better about the work that they're doing. I think that this survey can help everyone, like at all levels, if you participate in it. And the last thing I would say is uh, we should be proud of ourselves again in Saskatchewan, because we are the ones that actually taking this serious, and we are the only ones that administering this in this scale. So uh, we can like Saskatchewan construction industry can make an example for the other like provinces and also other sectors. If we keep doing this and doing this successfully, then others see value in it, and like we can be example that people can look up to. Thank you very much for uh, listening to my talk. And if you have any questions regarding the survey, feel free to shoot me an email at mk@ehsanalytics.com. I would be more than happy to answer all your questions. Thank you.